So, a little Drash. So what is a little Drash anyway? Mini sermon?
Yeah.
As modern day Jews, we really don't think about birthrights of firstborns. When parents die, typically they leave everything to their children, sort of in equal, generally speaking, amounts, boys and girls without preference. But in ancient times, the firstborn got the birthright. Not only was that property, but it was also the blessings of the patriarch. In ancient times, it was different. Here we read about Esau giving up his birthright. It's because, why? He's hungry for some soup. He thinks his birthright will do him no good because he's famished, and he says, I'm going to die unless you give me some of that stew. It smells so good. He gives up the best blessings of his father as a result. So we take that metaphor and we look at it in today's terms. What birthright do all of us as Jews have? It's learning. On Saturday night at Temple Emmanuel, Rabbi Go Lincoln, President Professor of Jewish Law from Schechter Institute in Jerusalem, will be speaking. And on November 7th, perhaps one of the greatest events in our lifetime, Rabbi Steinsaltz is finishing the Talmud in Hebrew. We're having a Jewish global day of learning. About 400 communities across the globe are having a siyum, or a small party, study, and then eat, is basically how that goes for a siyum. Why is it the greatest event, perhaps, of Jewish learning in our lifetime? Because I don't think anyone since Rashi in the 1100s took on such a great task and actually accomplished it. The Global Day of Jewish Learning, catch the word learning, not teaching. It's our heritage. We're all invited to share in this birthright. In the words of the man who codified the oral law in 200 of the Common Era, Rabbi Judah Hanassi, he said, I learned much from my teachers, more from my colleagues, and most from my students. There has to be a bit of humility that each of us bring into learning. If we think we know it all, or if we think we have the corner market on it, generally speaking, that possibly can't be. At least according to Rabbi Judah Hanassi. Who have we learned the most from? The people that we try or we attempt to teach. In Hebrew, there is the lamed mem daled verb, includes everything, learning, teaching, depending upon which verb tense it's put into. So Talmud is a word for learning. That is the lamed mem daled root for learn and study. Talmud is more than one book. It's the central pillar of Jewish existence. The whole structure includes law, legend, philosophy, ethics, morality, medicine, astronomy, zoology, literature, anecdotes, and humor. The language is terse, it's hard to follow. It's basically like reading somebody else's lecture notes for a lecture that we didn't go to. So we do strive to learn Talmud here on Mondays from 12 to 1. And certainly I invite you to this Global Day of Jewish Learning, which will be at UNR. And thank Hillel for joining with us, along with Temple Emmanuel and Temple Sinai, to put on this Global Day of Jewish Learning. We're going to talk about miracles on Sunday. Last week, here in our Talmud class, we looked at Honi, the circle maker. Honi was this cool guy who lived just before the change of the millennium, so about 100 BCE. And Honi was a guy that he prayed for rain, and rain didn't come. And so he drew a circle around himself, and he said, God, your people are depending upon me to bring you rain. Somehow flow, the blessings through me because they think I'm a member of your household. That's what Honi said. And it's an interesting sort of piece of, okay, do miracle workers work? Are they possible? Or is miracle workers not something that can occur within Jewish tradition? Well, Honi's here to tell us that miracle workers are a part of our tradition. He was able to successfully pray for rain. In 1965, when Rabbi Steinsaltz was 28 years old, he began the monumental task of translating the Talmud and putting in commentary. It's for our generation, and what his mindset is, now that he's, I think, 73 years old, over the past 45 years, this has been his project, his life's work. And it's not just Rabbi Steinsaltz, but he's had a whole group under him work on this project. He believes that it's giving back to the owners, all of us, that piece of Jewish learning. It's our birthright, it's our inheritance. So, as I said, nearly 400 communities all around the world are coming to celebrate this. To learn more about Honi and more about our traditions and our most excellent stories, you'll have an opportunity from 3 to 4:30 in the Ansari building at UNR to come learn with us. To realize the value of a parent, ask someone who has lost theirs. To realize the value of 10 years, ask a newly divorced couple. To realize the value of 4 years, ask a graduate. To realize the value of 1 year, ask a student who failed a final exam. To realize the value of 9 months, ask the father of a stillborn. To realize the value of 1 month, ask a mother who had a premature baby. To realize the value of 1 week, ask an editor of a weekly newspaper. To realize the value of 1 minute, ask a person who missed the train or the bus or the plane. To realize the value of 1 second, ask a person who survived an accident. Time waits for no one. Treasure every moment you have. And check out your birthright because it's here for you.
Yes, sir.
So, we turn to page 587 to the Elated. Let's see. Sarah and Cherie, could I talk you into coming?